right. Getting started in just a moment. We're gonna be doing some boring data entry today. Let me just get my test stream up and then we'll go. We are making a game. It's day 13, apparently. We have some time left. 16 days. We're less than halfway through the game jam. And we've almost got all the content. I want to have as much time as possible for polish and refinement. And also we have to generate levels and all that. So we're not like ahead, but we're not behind. So I'm gonna be up front. I'm feeling a little drained from all of this. I think I want to take tomorrow off and not stream. And then I can't stream Friday. And then on the weekend, we're going to be doing level stuff. So to set myself up so that we don't fall behind, I am going to aim today to implement all these consumables, all these tools, and that's it. And then I'm done. I'm stopping the stream. I don't know, like there's still plenty of things left to do. But honestly, if we stop putting in content now, if we just have this, and this is whatever, like it's not a game, but if we submitted this, there's monsters here, like I wouldn't say this is a successful game jam, but I also wouldn't like, this is the furthest I've gotten in making a game. So I would consider this a learning experience. And if I had to throw this whole thing away right now and start from scratch, I've learned a lot of lessons that I wouldn't like hate it. I would feel moderately okay with throwing this over or out, starting from scratch, doing something the right way. I've been thinking a lot about the next game I'm going to make after this game jam. I've talked about how I want to make a dungeon hack inspired dungeon crawler, 3D, first person, grid based. Maybe not grid based, but the dungeon is grid based. I think that would be fun to do. Not this month. Need to like put those thoughts away for now. Need to work on finishing this, making this good. Just gonna be focused. A little bit focused today. So we're gonna be implementing consumables first. And I've got the list here. I've already imported all the arts. Consumable and tool art added. Cool. We are not going to implement all the tools because some of these implementation details are like, I did not think them through very well. But we can leave to-dos for ourselves, get them added during the polish step. We will also have a better test bed when we have level generation in to test out like, is the motion scanner, is the level scanner good? Is this haste buff okay? You know, a little bit better test ground. I don't even think I will be getting this UI element working. So this is just a placeholder for now. I'm not focused on that right now. I'm just focused on getting the content in. Let's go. Enough talk. The time for talk is over. The time for mindless headbutting of keyboard to make things happen. Grab chunk. We have consumables and they are not complicated. They do not animate. They could animate, but they don't. Grab chunk. Arts.consumable. Crab chunk. We don't need to modulate this. and then we just have a consume function, and like that's it. Get parent, that's the player. Add oxygen. I didn't write down any details for what I want the consumables to do, so I'm just gonna have add health. It's all placeholder. Fly gunk. We had a resource yet to be implemented. Iron, gold, and uranium, I think is what they're currently called. And I had some of these consumables be like, if you use this, they obviously drop from creatures. And if you use this, it just gives you resources. It's just a really flavorful way of giving resources. Instead of just like, here's a fly, it drops iron. Like, no, it drops fly gunk, and then you can use it, and then there'll be a little string that says, oh, you process the gunk into iron. I don't know. Worm lung. Yeah, that is, in fact, what I wrote. Mm-hmm. And then that was the last one. I don't even remember what I had planned for this. I think this one was supposed to be an energy doodad. I don't even know if this is a function. I think I owe it to myself to check before I go ahead and add oxygen. There's add hit points isn't even a function. Okay. Add energy. Okay, done. Save that. This should work now. And if it doesn't, then dip. Let's keep moving. I expect the most of my time is going to be spent on the tools, because the consumables are not complicated. We didn't give ourselves that much in terms of options. Oop, that's not the number I meant. Med gel. Was it one of these? Add health, add hit points. Health is better though. It's smaller. Oh, okay. O2 tank. I think I already have that. Okay. HP fruit. Okay, we're in. We got the first fruit. We need to add energy fruit. And then oxygen fruit. Do I call it O2 fruit? I probably don't. Naming things is hard. Naming things consistently is hard. Cool. A little further. I don't think I implemented these. Battery, cell, crab junk fruit. Oh, I have the soda can, and I think I have the spiral, the funnel. So I did implement them. I just didn't really have any idea of what they were. Because I wrote attack booster and evasion booster, but like those are not items. Those are concepts. So, I mean, I can add them in. Combat funnel. And then I think this was going to be like set effect boost attack and boost evade, but that is under entity, isn't it? Add effect. So I need to add an effect. I need to do that under the enums. All right, let's go ahead and go back to our combat funnel. Why is Why do I not see it? Did I not save it? Therefore it doesn't exist. Did I... What? I have to do this all over again? Attack boost. Enums dot effect dot attack boost 500. Boost, evasion boost. What was the art that I can't remember. It might have been the cell or the soda can. I did draw things that, I don't know. I'm gonna say soda can. Okay, and then I need to implement this effect in the entity, which has a die, attack die, default attack die. Here it is. If false, no, if effects.has effect. Yeah, has effect. enums.effect.attack boost colon. And then here for the evasion die, if false, no, if evasion boost. If you get a boost, then these results become good. Otherwise, no. All right, done. Your game is looking mighty competitive at this point. Thanks. I will feel a lot more confident in it when I'm generating levels and I can actually play the game, not to like enjoy it, but to start testing it. But we're not halfway through the jam yet, and we're probably gonna get the levels. At least my hope is stretch goal by the end of Sunday. All the level generation is there. It's not perfect, but it's there. But realistically, if we can just get like the first 3 levels generated by Sunday, the end of Sunday, perfectly happy with that pace. Perfectly happy. That is wonderful. And like level generation, I don't know. I don't know. I've never made a roguelike level generator before, so I don't think it's that complicated in terms of like you create a tree of rooms, and then you link them up. You draw tunnels, and we have the function to create rooms, and we have the function to create tunnels, and then you fill the rooms with content, and we have content. So it's just a matter of like doing it, and it's tedious, and we need it to be generated programmatically, but it's not like rocket science. It's not going to be like, this is going to take 12 hours and a team of sleepless programmers to figure out. Like, we might be able to knock it out super quick. I'll be lucky if I can reliably generate a single thing. You don't sell yourself short. Generating anything it's not that hard. You can do it. The hard part isn't generating the content. It's generating good content. That's the hard part. That's kind of where the big flaw with procedurally generated content for professional games written by actual game developers. The procedural generator, it can't be as good as a proper level designer. And in order to be good enough, it needs a lot of content. And that's my opinion. But those games, they're still successful. So whatever. Do it anyway. Make something mediocre and publish it, and people will still enjoy it. A lot of stuff makes random generation more exciting. Did I get all these in? I spaced out, sorry. I have tools to do. This is going to take longer, for sure, 100%. The tools, I did put a little more thought into them. The floodlight does not need a lot of thought. It's just a flashlight, but better. I didn't even test any of the consumables out. Oh my goodness. I have to test it. So some of these are mob drops. So let's go to the green fly. You're not dropping, what is it? You're not dropping oxygen tanks anymore, you're dropping fly gunk. The giant worm, you are dropping worm lungs. The crab chunk. And the eye. The rogue eye drops its eye. Okay, but that's not all. We also have I think I want the big robot to drop a battery. The fruit we haven't implemented yet because we don't have a tree. Fly gunk, med gel. I think I want the drill bot to also drop a battery. And the dog bot to drop a battery. Okay, let's try that. Let's just test that. Equip our laser pistol and our flashlight. Oh, and activate our laser pistol. Activate the flashlight. I gave myself a lot more energy so I can just turn things on without really caring. Laser rifle. So we have fly gunk. I don't remember what it does, but I'm about to refresh myself. 98 health, 971 energy, 4986 oxygen. It heals. Cool. Get the laser cannon because I'm going to need that. Because I turned on all the mobs. Oh, we're still punching? Okay, that's a battery. That is what I drew. I'm disappointed in what I drew, but that's fine. Okay. I'm getting beamed. Okay. Oh, you should drop a battery. Nope. Okay, there we go. I got the crab chunk. What does it do? If I remember correctly, it heals? Yes, it heals. Kestrel. Here's the rogue eye. Give me that eyeball. Does that give me energy? It does. It gives me a lot of energy. Nice. Okay. Battery. Oh. Balance not included. I want a worm lung. You got the worm lung. Okay. Why is my oxygen so high? All right. It works. Great. Maybe we can pick a better verb than consumed, but that's a problem for future me to figure out. That's part of that whole polish thing. Cool. All the consumables that I had mobs drop work. Let's move on. Tools. This floodlight needs to be called a floodlight. All tools have 2 H-frames. This thing will increase vision by 4, but it drains twice as much energy. Where's my level? Oh, all the item generations at the bottom. Flashlight. Item, I probably need to put it like to the right of me, so like in 6-2. Let me actually spawn this. Okay, where is this? 13.2, 14.2, 15.2, 13.2, 14.2, 15.2. Item floodlight.new. All right, let's see if it's there. You got the floodlight. Okay, and I can see enemies beyond their vision range, and I can shoot them and they don't do anything about it. Work in progress. Okay, let's keep going. The floodlight was the easy one. Everything else, not as easy. The microfusion cell. I'm just call this portable cell. This is not where the tools are. I haven't been putting underscores. Well, okay, I have been. Style guide. Okay. Nope. Give me that. Okay. What did I call it? Power cell. Doesn't do anything on activate. This has a special variable. Fuel equals 500. If active, fuel minus equals 1, and fuel is greater than 0. Fuel minus equals 1. Energy, I shouldn't have deleted this get parent, because that's the player. I need to get them and then add 1 energy and 1 oxygen. If fuel equals 0, deactivate. What was the activate tool? Okay. Next. Energy shield. Oh, I have to implement shields. Nope, this is not. So the idea behind shields is it's regenerating hit points. Oh, I'm still calling it the wrong thing. Okay, let's go back. Yeah, you are a portable cell. This does not have fuel. Energy shield. I was hoping for autocomplete. E-shield. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, if active, and let me get the player's energy. Okay. If we can't drain energy, activate the tool. But how I want to implement this is every turn this gives the player a shield. Maybe this should be like every 10 turns. If active, counter plus equals 1. If counter is greater than 9, counter equals 0. Do a thing. If we can drain energy, then if we cannot drain energy, then turn the shield off. Else, I should make this number a lot higher. No, I need to check the shield before I do this check. But I'm going to have a function add shield 1. And then I'm gonna have entities have a shield. Fair shield. Okay. And then I think add shield is going to be a player function. Shield max out of 5. Hard coded. And then we need to go to the combat handler and we need to tell it, hey, if the enemy would get crit, I shouldn't say enemy, if a defender would get crit, if they have shield, negate the shield instead. Combat handler. There you are. If defender dot shield is greater than 0, else all of this. And then in the deal damage function, we could have it set up to where damage is subtracted from shield first. How would I do that mathematically? Mob.deal damage. Where's my mob? So there's a deal damage function, and I know the player has one, and mobs I assume have one as well. Yeah, I don't think we need to worry about mobs having shields. We're just gonna ignore that. I have no plans. If we coded things smartly, we could write a universal shield handler and then we could just pass it to an entity, and then the entity will automatically, doesn't matter if it's player, doesn't matter if it's a mob, it'll just automatically happen. But I just want to get this in. Okay, deal damage. If shield 0, I want to, okay, so I have an incoming amount of damage X, and I have shield Y, and I want shield to negate damage. So amount minus amount shield. If our shield is bigger than the amount, then we should just give up and return n equals 0, return. But we also need to subtract from the shield. So what if we have var absorb equals shield, and then we subtract the shield from the amount, and then we absorb if shield less than 0, shield equals 0. Can't go below 0. Yeah. That might just be fine. So okay, so shields here for the player work. Shields should be negating crits correctly. Let's go to I think the way I have this set up, if a crit is negated by the shield, it will not be represented by the message. How could I fix that? In order to fix that, I would have to do the damage calculation here. And then I would, if potential damage is greater than 0, then move the calculations I just put in the player over here instead. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Save, give me the combat handler here. Okay. And then we go to if the shield, defender.shield. Defender.shield. Did I just lose connection? It looks like I did. Oh no. Why does that keep happening? No, it's back. Okay. This says we're live. Defender.shield. Okay. Let's test that out. But first I need to actually spawn the item. Level. Energy shield. And then it'd be cool to have a little custom graphic every time the shield blocks damage, but you know, that falls under the category of nice to have. There's the energy shield. All right, we turn it on. All right, and then it needs time. All right, it's drawing power. Okay, and let's have something attack us. An uncharacteristic number of misses. All right, it works. Statistically, it's likely that it works. So let's use all of our power fighting this stuff. Oh, I'm dead. Just kidding. Moving on. Metal shield increases evasion score. That one's easy. I don't think this one should have a take turn. On activate get parent dot get parent dot evasion plus equals 2 minus equals 2. And then just to make sure, it looks right. Add it to the level. Okay. The metal shield. Can we combine it with the energy shield? Assertion failed. That shouldn't have happened. The tool list was 3? We should have already erased that tool from the tool. Okay, hold on. Yeah, the tool list was 3. But why was it 3? Why wasn't it 2? We already erased the slot here. Is item slots dot erase the wrong thing? Should it be tool slots? It is the wrong thing. Great. That's been a bug the whole time. Oh boy. Hey, we found a bug. I have expectations that will continue happening. Energy shield, metal shield. All right, we have all the defense that our tool belt will allow us. Okay, just wander around until our energy stops getting consumed. There we go. I doubt we just got missed. Okay, give me the energy cannon. Okay. Still got pretty good health, all things considered. Eat a battery. I feel like we would have died if okay, we're getting chewed on. I feel like we would have died if we didn't have these devices on. Let's turn them back on. I don't want more slime to happen. Okay. Great, those work. I'm gonna assume that they work and move on. Level scanner, I'm not gonna even try implementing this. So the way that I was thinking of implementing this is the level scanner gives you a buff called terrain scanner, and then in the visibility scanner, after we do all the calculations, we just go. We do a second vision pass, and then we just start revealing everything. Why don't we just do the thing I just said? It's actually not that hard once you say it out loud. Level scanner. Did one of these... I haven't implemented something that gives me a buff yet. I don't think so. So this is the first. This does not have a counter. I hope I'm not accidentally giving things counters. Back to the level scanner, and we're going to call this the terrain scanner. Enums dot effect dot terrain scanning. Level scanner. Give me that buff that I just defined. Enums dot effect dot level terrain scanning. Remove effect? Was that what I called it? It's an entity thing, I'm pretty sure. Yes, remove effect. Okay. Let's go back to the level scanner. Let us add the thing that makes it take power to keep it on. Excellent. Now we need to go into the visibility handler, which is a level thing. Vis handler. And after all of this, is this something that the player, okay, so the player loc is always passed, but the player is not. So we need to get the player. If get parent, that gives us the level, dot get parent, that gives us main dot player dot has effect enums dot effect dot terrain scanning. For I in -9, for x in range, okay. -9 to 10. Right? That'll give me 9, 8, -9, -8, -7, -6, -5, -4, etc. and so on. Starts from B, increases by steps of 1, and stops before N. Yeah, that's correct. Viz handler. For Y in range, -9, 10. Grid. But this is relative to the player loc. What is this? Array size 0. Why did I call it that? Level size. Okay, so no. Okay, so grid x plus player loc x. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's test out this function. Take our level. Add level scanner. 13.3. Could not get parent on a null value. Of course. How is get parent dot get parent a null value? We have a player loc. So we must have a player. Well, okay, so we are aware of the level. So we could do is say level.getPlayer. Because maybe this actually doesn't have a parent. Yeah, okay. That was theoretically more correct. We got the terrain scanner. Let's turn it on. Oh, instantly crash. GetParent.getParent.add effect. Cannot convert argument 1 from int to object. Oh. Right. I don't just pass in the enum. I have to pass in an object. Sorry, where's entity? Thank you. Oh, I have to do that for remove effect? That's stupid. Am I calling remove effect? Countdown effects. Okay. Why did I make get effect private, but this one? Where am I using get effect? Oh, I'm using it here. Add effect. Okay, so I would prefer remove effect. We can have that, and then this can call that, because we have the effect in this function. But func remove effect int var equals get effect dot effect. Okay, so remove effect says first we need to see if we have this effect. For f in effects, if effect dot equals effect ID. Okay, and now we can just call this remove effect, because I don't want to have to create a new effect just to remove an effect. I would prefer to just pass in an enum and it goes, oh, okay, I can get you. I got you. Effect new. Is this how you do new? How do you do new? Oh, no, this is, oh, okay, I see. Yeah, this is not a function. Oh, shoot. Okay, that should work now. Pick this up and give me the thing. Hey, we're level scanning now. Oh, this is overriding our vision. Okay, so we need to do this before vision. Also, it'd be interesting to like set an alpha. Okay. Where are we setting? This is where we're setting visibility. Yeah, that is where we're setting visibility. Okay. okay? Yeah, there we go. Now we can see. And it would be nice to have like some sort of thing that colors the tiles that are being revealed, but whatever. Like we could color them green. Can we just do that? That's a nice to have. That's a nice to have. We'll move on. We've implemented this level scanner. Motion scanner. We're just doing the same thing, except I don't. This is going to be a placeholder because we need a new object. We need like a motion blip object that disappears after one turn. And it's always visible or something like that. But it's going to be the same idea as the level scanner. We just set a tag in the player, and then in the visibility handler, we go, or what we could do, no. Okay, so what I'm going to do is write the motion scanner. Let's go ahead and do that. Gonna look like the level scanner, except it's gonna have a different thing. Okay. And then we, gotta implement that enum motion scanning. All right. Because I don't, one thing I could do is I could just have this reveal all tiles that contain a mob within Vision 9. And that's fine, but I would rather it just put a little blip, but I don't want to I mean, I guess it's not that hard. I should just do it. So a blip is not a mob. A blip is not a utility. A blip is just a sprite 2D. We don't need to make a new object. We can just make an inner class in the visibility handler. Class blip. Var sprite 2D equals new sprite 2D dot new, and then we pass in, how do we declare sprites? Geez, how do we do this thing that I've probably done like a million times, but I've been doing it with the power of copy and paste? Oh, the way I've been doing it is not. How have I been doing it with the weapons? I've been using a set sprite function. All right, it's fine. Where's my V handler? Func init. Let's just use the player placeholder for now. But we can modulate it. Color 100 0.5. or okay, so we have this class blip. Do I have to do that? Oh, I need to indent. I see. Yeah. Name modulate is called as a function, but is a color. Got it. It is a color. It is not a function. So we do not call it like a function. We call it like a color. Okay, so now we just create a blip at the location of the mob, which we have. So we create a list of blips. Var blips equals array.blips. Do I call them blips? I call them blip. When we redraw visibility, delete all the blips. How do I clear every element in an array? If I extend ref counted, that should just happen. So we should just set the blips to that. All these blips are no longer referenced. They should just disappear off the face of the earth. Should be garbage collected. And then mob.visible equals false. No, actually what we're going to do is if grid okay, so we're going to get a dir mapper. Okay, so first of all, is the player motion scanning? If so, else. Is the point that we're looking at grid posts dir mapper dot get distance starting point pose ending point player loc. If it's less than or equal to 9, then okay, it just occurs to me, we should always be setting the mob visibility to false in this case. But maybe we spawn a new blip. Oh, I need to give it a position. No, I don't. Var b equals blip dot new b dot position dot sprite dot position equals mob dot position. Is that it? Let's add this. Let's add this tool to our level. Okay, there it is, the motion tracker. Turn it on. We're not getting any blips. I must need to add them as a child. I was worried about that. Oh, I never add them to the array. Oh, wait, they immediately disappear as soon as this function ends. Blips.append b. Try again. Okay, do I still need to add them? I probably need to add them as a child. Yeah. B dot add child B. There it is. Okay. I was hoping we didn't have to do that, but no. Otherwise, how would Godot know to draw? Oh. The object derived class argument 1 ref counted blip is not a subclass of the expected argument class. Okay, so instead of declaring a blip, could I just declare a sprite? Var b equals sprite2d.new, sprite.texture, add child sprite, sprite.position, blips.append sprite. Erase all that. Let's go up here. This is sprite2ds. And then, will this cause a memory leak? It might. Let me check. Inherited by ref counted. But that doesn't mean this is a ref counted, so I think, what if we just don't erase the array? For I in blips, blips I dot q free. Does that result in the for loop being okay? Let's try a thing and then maybe it works, and if it, oh, okay, invalid access to property or key sprite2d on a base object. So we can't queue free? We're just not allowed to do that? What if I call queue free on the array? I don't think that's normally an option for me because I don't want to free everything in the array, but this time I do. If I just do this. I don't know what will happen if I do this. Can I find member queue free? And you can't do that. What if we just do this? I think that's going to be a problem because, okay, why is nothing getting drawn? Like, print spawning blip. Oh, we should see lots of blips, so something has gone horribly wrong. What if we don't clear them out? I see no blips. Okay, so they're definitely spawning. All right, let's get that back in. But they're not happening. Oh, okay. Why is that happening? Could mob position not be what I think it is? Maybe I need to add them to the level as a child. Because they're getting drawn by the visibility handler, but the visibility handler doesn't exist. There we go. Okay. That was the problem. All right, and if we turn this off, nothing gets cleared. Great. Perfect. That's great. So we need to remove each one as a child and then free it. For I in blips level.remove child I i.q free. Does that work? Or is that going to say like, oh, you can't call Q free on a sprite 2D? That's ridiculous. Wait, it's working. Okay. So this highlights how broken the AI is, but that's okay. That's something to polish. All right, whatever. Is it gross that this function is here in the visibility handler instead of like having a blip object? Yes, it is gross. We can stipulate on that and move on. Now we have the speed exoskeleton. I haven't implemented the fast buff yet. Some mobs have the fast buff. The speed skeleton gives the player the speed buff. I think it's called fast. Let me actually check that. Fast, yes. Next. Allow me to take my favorite class, the... Oh, I never... Did I add the portable cell? I never tested it. All right, anyway, motion scanner. This is the one. It's the same function except it gives the fast effect. It can drain 1 energy. Biogel fab turns energy into health. What a pretentious name for it. It's just a regenerator. It just regenerates. I can use the portable cell code. This one does not have fuel. Actually, this needs a thing that handles flashlight. If active and we can drain energy, then get parent.add health is 1. This should actually be something like wait a minute. If active, then check this. And if we can't do this, then activate tool. Otherwise, there we go. All right, there it is. Level. Oh, I never spawned the speed exoscale. Okay. Why did it spawn it there? Did I miscount? Oh, the exoskeleton doesn't have a graphic. Or does it? Hold on. Drop exoskeleton. No, it doesn't. I goofed it. Exoscale handler. Granted, I don't have a good graphic, so it's not like we're missing much. Just call it exoscale. Perfect. All right. That's the fabricator. There's the exoskeleton. This makes us faster, but we haven't implemented that yet. This gives us health at the cost of, why is it draining 2 energy? Oh, it's because the exoskeleton also drains energy. Okay, cool. Let's add the motion tracker. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we got dudes. I might need to adjust the resolution of the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, okay. So we can see, but the UI is literally blocking, so we can't see. We'll have to think about that. That might be a case of like zooming the camera out slightly. That's not hard. Let's go to the camera. This is the camera? Okay, whatever. Zoom 1.9.9. Okay, let's get the motion tracker. Maybe 1.8. I mean, whatever. This is not ideal. This is not ideal where this is. Maybe if this was up here, that'd be better, but let's just leave this at 2 for now. We'll figure that out later. We've got more things to implement. We've got to implement this active camo. Gives the player the camo buff. We can give the buff. We can give the buff. Okay. It's going to look like the speed exoscale. That's not how you spell camouflage, is it? Oh, we actually implemented this. Implement camo. No, we actually did this. What was the last one? Toxin filter. On activate pass. On deactivate pass. Parent dot remove effect poisoned. Okay, that should do. Not really an easy way to test that without having a thing that tells us what debuffs we have. But we can add it to the level just to make sure that we can add it to the level. Did I not call it active camo? I should call it active camo. And then one more. Toxin filter. Uh, 13.5. All right, that's all the items. We got the toxin filter. The invisibility curtain doesn't do anything. Maybe we can make it do something. That can be the last thing I do for this stream. Implement the invisibility curtain. So, enhanced evasion. So that means we go to the entities. If you have evasion boost or has effect enums.effect.camo. If you have camo, then your evasion die is better. Enhanced evasion, that's already what that is. Reduced mob vision. Then the movement handler, where do I decide the mobs to move? Do rest of turn. Oh no, okay, yeah. For mob, take turn. Okay, so mob.take turn. Mob.take turn. Okay, let's go to the mob. Okay. So we have the player variable already, so we can say where are we checking vision? If player dot has effect enums dot effect dot camo -1 else boom. I don't understand. This shouldn't be. Oh, I see the problem. I don't understand why. Oh. Okay, let's pick up the active camo. And let's pick up the motion scanner. Okay, we are invisible. Does not affect attack range, but it does affect. I do want to have like a mob.move randomly. So we can have a if the player has active camo, there's like a 10% chance. Well, there's always a 10% chance that the mob moves randomly instead of towards the player. And then if the player is not around, it just moves randomly half the time. And then we can have, if the player has camo, increase the chance of the mob moving randomly. And then we're done. But we don't have move randomly a thing right now, so we're not gonna add that feature. So that's all the tools, all the consumables, that's all the content. So we're set for the weekend. So we've actually got a little bit of extra time. So maybe I'll implement one feature. Okay, here's the feature I want to work on. I want to make shooting a little better. Okay, no active weapon, that's fine. Okay, if I press escape, it should cancel the shoot. So I would like to implement that. P cancel. Honestly, it should be if you press any key other than, I shouldn't need to do it that way. The way I should do it instead is if you press any key other than shoot or a move command, then we should exit shoot. If it's P fire, then we'll do the P fire. If else dot is keyboard. Okay, so I don't want it to be a mouse movement. Inventory is action pressed. Okay, if event is input key and event is pressed. Yeah. We'll print a message that says canceled shooting. Shooting canceled. And then we get rid of the cursor. Okay, so let's equip that. Let's shoot. Let's actually cancel. I would like for the shoot to lock on to the nearest mob. So you press F, and I don't want it to target the player. It should, the cursor position should be, well, but that's something that's specified up here. Okay. Activate cursor player position. What if instead of player position, we passed in a mob position? So we could do something like mob equals var mob equals level dot visibility handler dot get nearest visible mob player dot position. grid mapper dot pixel to grid dot level Okay, I'm glad we invented this function. Let's use it. If mob equals null, then the cursor handler should set that to the player position, else cursor handler dot activate cursor mob position. And then maybe we could have something where it's like, if you shot a mob, remember the last mob you shot and go to that if that mob is still alive and we can see them. But that's nice to have. That's a different layer of nice to have. We need to define this function. Func. Player loc. Returns mob for mob and level.mobs. Okay, var closest mob equals var closest distance equals 999. Okay. If mob.visible equals false, continue. Else, is that a thing? Godot continue. Continue keyword. Continue keyword is used in the for loop to immediately stop the current iteration. Yeah, okay, that is what we want. Let's use the dir map. Dist var dist equals dir mapper dot get distance from the player loc to the mob loc. Grid mapper dot. Is there a reason that I'm converting these to pixels? Because the get distance function takes pixels, that's why. Or it takes grid. Pixel to grid. If dist is less than closest distance, closest distance equals dist, closest mob equals mob. Return mob. Sorry, return closest mob. Okay, that should do. Equip the laser pistol, press F, immediately crash. We don't have time for this. Invalid access to property or key visibility handler. Visibility handler doesn't exist on the level? Is it called something else? Viz handler. There we go. We're targeting the nearest critter. That's a lot better. Okay, and then we should have a little thing that's like, you can't shoot yourself. Invalid target. Okay. We'll just laser rifle this thing. Okay. Good. It's working. Can we make it so that the lasers are different? We can specify the laser width and color. I want to do that, but like this function is a placeholder function already, so might as well. That is done in the level. We'll draw a beam. We're gonna make this draw a line attack. Width equals int equals 2. Color is color 011. Does that work? That works. Okay. Let me just change this to color. Change this to width. Okay, and then if we want to have a weapon that has a small beam, well, we can do that. Where are my weapons? I'm not lost, you're lost. Oh, this doesn't draw the beam. Oh no. Where's the beam drawn? Who decides? Here it is. Well, it was a nice idea, but if the beam is not specified in the weapon, I don't want to do it here. It's fine. We've improved the targeting mode. Is there anything else? I haven't looked up mouse over tooltips, but I feel like that one would be really nice to have, especially because it'd be nice if the item features were discoverable in some way, rather than just like, here's a flashlight. Can you figure out what it does? Hopefully, because I'm not going to tell you. No, I would rather actually tell, but I need to. I just need to not really think, but just have some time to read through the Godot forums and just see what people are doing, because I'm sure this is a commonly solved problem, and there's probably like an easy like, oh yeah, just use Godot.mouseovertooltip.yes equals true 0.3, and then there it is. After the GM rest, okay, very funny. Range attacks should not go through the walls. We can do that real quick. That's actually not that hard. There's a function, I don't remember the name of it. It's named after someone that you give it 2 points on grid space and it'll give you the straight line and grid coordinates. So all we have to do is call that function, get a list of thing, and then say can you do? And if so, good. Actually, we may want to do something simpler than that, because the way that our vision is set up is really simple. So Do we have the check range? We should just make this a function. For loc impossible visible, traveloc to loc. So we have a list of possible visibles. We have the source. The player loc is the source. And the travel loc is the destination, but where's I being used? Why did I write I here? I guess that's the number of possible times one would do this. But wait, oh, there's more to this function. There it is. So we take this whole function, we give it a source. Let me just start writing func trace path source loc dest loc bool. Okay, given the source loc, let's just copy this function for now. We're not using all of it. Okay, so given a source loc, destination is not correct because it's going from the destination to the source. Did I goof this? Yeah, it should be dest loc. For I in vision range. Where's vision range set? Okay, that's being passed in, so we need to pass that in as well. All right. var tile equals get cell tile data. What? Travel loc equals loc. Oh, that's just dest loc. Okay, got it. Get that out of here. Okay, so theoretically these functions, why is this not all code pass return a value? I guess we can return false. Theoretically, we should be able to take this code and just trace path. All right, let me comment all of this out. Don't worry, I'm commenting all of this out. I don't need this. If trace path player loc vision range if we return true, that means this. Set that to visible. Oh, I don't have that. Grid loc.x, grid loc.y. Oh, no. Just kidding. We're good. Okay. Does that function? Is our visibility still blocked by walls? It does look like it works. I only understand half of what I wrote, and that's great because it works. So I don't need to dig deeper. I don't have the brain power for that. But it also means that now we have a function called trace path. We just give it to the mob. We go, hey mob. Before you shoot, trace path. If the attack range is greater than 1 and dir mapper.get distance is less than the attack range and the range is not on cooldown, and let's add one more to that big pile. And level.viz handler.trace path player mobloc. I need to give the vision range. So that's vision. Okay, good. The thing says that was correct. So I'm just going to go ahead and assume. Go ahead and tab that because I'm just because. All right, that should have fixed it. Theoretically, that should just fix it. We're done. Okay, let me get the floodlight. Let's see if we get laser beam through a wall. Or let's see if we get laser beam by something that we can't see. We'll get laser beam through walls, but if we can't see it. Okay, the gun. There we go. Okay, this works. Yeah, this works. We did it. That's excellent. Oh, yeah. This is so much... I should make my beam a different color than the enemy beam. Maybe the enemy beam should be... I don't know. Red. Oh, I'm dead. Whatever. This should never happen. Let's figure that one out, and then I'm done. Oh. All right, what is actually happening? Let's be a little more descriptive. Print target loc is target loc print player loc Oh my gosh, this thing will not die. Why did I program flyers to be so annoying? It's like I hate the player or something. Did I get the motion tracker already? Yeah. Okay, now we see that the violence inherent in the system. Note to self, the final boss room is just going to be like a gauntlet. Okay, Nope. Wow. I didn't even get attacked. I didn't trigger that line once. Getting kicked. Okay, when does the thing happen? When does the thing... Oh, is it when I shoot? Okay, so first of all, how did that slime get up there? Player loc is 410. Target loc is 410. Who's the target? Print target is self. Who's calling this function? It better not be like entity. I mean, that would just be karma if it was entities calling this function. I know that. Is it a player? Is it a mob? Oh, it's node 2D. Perfect. I think it'd be a little easier if I could just be like, target is player, self dot is player. So it'll say true. Give me the energy cannon and then have the fly dodge. Nope, dodge nothing. Oh, come on. I need like a grenade launcher. Maybe that should have been a consumable as a grenade item. Let me write that down. That's actually a really good idea. Whoops. Can I trigger the line, please? No, I just kill everything. It's okay. We have level 2. All right, we consume the battery. We consume the crab chunk. We consume the eye and the other battery. We're fully charged. Let's go to the next. Let's go to the next level. Fully dodged. All right, great. Oh, here we go. This is not the player that's calling this function. Okay. So a mob is trying to move into my space. Which mob? Does it matter? The reason that should never happen is because if the target location is not solid, okay, so if the target location is solid, we're trying to move into a mob location. But do move should only happen. The mobster should only do move if movement handler. They are take turn. Okay, so mob dot take turn. If the path size is greater than 1, maybe it should be the path size is greater than 2. Because the path size includes the player, the source and the destination. Maybe this is actually fine. Looks like Python. I can't believe it's not Python. Okay, so mobs will still, yeah, mobs still work fine. So I don't know why mobs weren't moving into me before. Maybe it's because they didn't have ranged attacks, and it has something to do with ranged attacks, and I don't know what. Okay, I just died. But I'm assuming that fixes it. Okay, I've done a lot of things and I haven't checked in any. So for the time being, I'm going to assume that problem is fixed. And then if it pops up again, I'm going to be like, added consumables, tools, implemented a lot of stuff for tool functionality, made ranged attacks from mobs not go through walls, made improved shoot behavior a little bit. Did I do other things? This autopilot would have been a fun thing to do, but I'm out of time. Yeah, okay. I think that's all I did. Let's actually remember to commit the changes. Or I guess stage is the terminology. Okay. I am tired. I will not be streaming tomorrow because I've got all the content in and I need a break. I will not be streaming on Friday because I'm busy. This weekend, we're going to be inventing a level strategy. So my plan for now, happen to know if this Godot program works well on Linux. So I don't know if it works on Linux because I have not tried it personally. But it has full support for Linux. So it should work. I mean, I could like Godot for Linux. Like there's a download there. So I would assume it works great. The game that we're making right now, this is a web game. So like it works in a browser. So this works in Linux. So yeah, I'm gonna assume full support for Linux. I can't promise that because I haven't personally tried it. But as far as our strategy goes for Saturday, we're going to implement a level strategy handler, which is basically going to be load bearing for our game. This is going to be the function that tells us, all right, level 1 should have baby minions and it should drop level 1 items, and there should be 4 rooms and the level should be this size. And then we're going to implement some level strategies to give us variance. So a level strategy is like when the level is generated, the level strategy says divide the level into 9 quadrants, put a room in each quadrant, then draw a tunnel between each room. Then in each room, put 2 to 4 items, put 2 to 4 mobs, put 2 to 4, but put an exit somewhere, put the player somewhere. All of that is a level strategy. We'll have multiple types of level strategies. So I think the classic one is the BSP tree, where you generate a bunch of rooms, you put them on a tree. I don't know how to describe it, especially when I'm like a little loopy right now. You put them on a tree and then you draw connections based on the tree connections. So look up BSP tree, binary tree, whatever it's called. We're also going to have some grid-based maps, and we're going to have some, my hope is that we'll have some more chaotic, inventive, like a map with only 2 rooms and then just tunnels everywhere. I don't know. And then the level strategy handler is responsible for escalating the game as the levels increase. We will also define some predefined level bits. So I would like to have a tutorial level, a level 0. I would like to have a final level that we may not get to. I would like to have secret levels, which are going to have their own strategies, which, you know, that's our opportunity to go wild and maybe generate some maps that don't make sense. Anyway, this weekend, all that. For now, we rest. We recover. I will have a little bit of time to like actually read up on how do other roguelikes generate levels and see if we can learn lessons from that. And also, a lot of the other people participating in the jam who have been broadcasting their progress, they've mainly been working on level gen, and I've been like paying attention to that, but I haven't been looking at it on a deep level. I've just been looking at it on, oh, you spent a lot of time on level gen, and I have not, so I must be behind. Yeah. So, you know, it's going to be time for me to actually figure out rather than just winging it, which is what I've been doing. Let me see who is streaming right now. Can I, what is this? Okay. How about this? Alrighty. Thanks, folks, everyone, for watching. Hope you had a good one. Hope you're having a good time. Make games. Participate in the jam. There's still time, even now. If you haven't started yet, join now. There's still time. If not, make games, play a lot of games, have fun. All right.